أيها المشتاق لا تنمي هذه أنوار ذي سلمي عن قليل أنت في الحرم عند خير العرب والعجم
قف أمام القابر بالأدب
أيها المشتاق لا تنمي هذه أنوار ذي سلمي عن قليل أنت في الحرم عند خير العرب والعجم
قف أمام القابر بالأدب
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى سيدنا محمد. فاتحة بنية التعلم والتعليم والتذكر والتذكير والنفع والاندفاع والإفادة والاستفادة والحث على التمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسوله والدعاء على الهدى والدلالة على الخير ابتغاء وجه الله ومرضاته وقربه وثوابه سبحانه وتعالى وعلى من هو نبي سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم على مسلم صالحا وعلى ما شاء الله عليه النبي محمد الحبشي الحبشي من الله يدخل ينزل في نهايتهم وأعمالنا في أعمالهم وأخلاقنا في أخلاقهم وطريقتنا في طريقتهم القبول وإلى حضرة النبي سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم بسر الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين رب اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين آمين. Okay, so now we carry on with the integrals of wudu, right? The furud of wudu, okay, of wudu of ablution. Right, so just a quick recap from last week. Right, wudu is to wash certain parts of the body with a certain intention in a certain manner. Okay, with regards intention, right, what is intention? It is to intend something, right, simultaneously with its performance at the same time at the same time at which one begins to do this thing that is intended. Okay, the place of intention, right, is in the heart. To recite it, to say it out on the tongue, to utter it on the tongue is sunnah. Okay, this recitation on the tongue, saying it out aloud on the tongue, helps to presence the intention in one's heart. Yeah, the time of the intention is made at the beginning of an action, right? So if it's made before the commencement or after the commencement of the action, then it's not valid. And the time of the intention is at the beginning of the action. When one performs the action, at the same time one makes the intention. Okay, for in most cases, right, except fasting and a few other activities, but generally, right, okay, as such, the conditions of the validity of one's intention is that the one intending must be Muslim, right? It must be of sound mind, of past the age of discernment, okay, mature, an adult. Okay, the knowledge one must know the action that is to be performed, right? Whether in terms of its integrals, in terms of its nullifiers, what nullifies the action, yeah, all this kind of thing, right? Okay, and that is the intention is not nullified by another intention cutting in, or moving on, leaving the initial, the originally intended act, right, to do something else. Okay, the intention is also not made contingent upon something else. It must be absolute, okay, firm, right, and that one is certain, right, of what is actually being performed, what action is actually being rendered, what worship is being rendered or performed. Okay, so to clarify what these were discussed in last week's lesson, so you can go back to last week's, towards the end of last week's, the second half maybe of last week's lesson, right? Clarifying these conditions of the validity of our intention. Okay, and finally we covered last week also the rationale of the intention, the wisdom behind the intention is that these intentions, they distinguish customary actions from actions that constitute worship. Yeah, and then within acts of worship, they differentiate between levels of worship, right? So from between sunnah and fard, right? And they convert, for example, what is mubah, what is permissible, merely permissible, to become something that is a sunnah. Okay, based on our intention. Okay, so that was what we covered last week, more roughly on the first integral of ablution of wudu. Okay, which was the intention. So the intention is to be made, yeah, that at the point in which, right, the sunnah point, sunnah making of intention, the sunnah place to make intention is at the first, the top of the face, where the water first touches your face when we're making ablution. Okay, when we're taking our wudu. Okay, there are a few different kinds of intentions that are possible for people who are under normal circumstances. Okay, nawaitu wudu, nawaitu farad al-wudu, nawaitu tahara lis-salah. Right, the four that you can go and check last week's lesson, right, inshallah, for a recap or to refresh your memory on that. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So inshallah this week we'll be moving on to the next couple of integrals. Okay. Okay, so the second integral, right, of the six integrals of ablution or wudu, second rukun, second fard of wudu is the face. We have to wash our faces. Okay. Okay, so in the book we've gotten to the part where Habib Ahmad bin Zain goes on to say, okay, وَلَا أَنْقَالَ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ وَنَفَعْنَا بِهِ وَبِعُلُومِهِ وَبِعُلُومِ شَيْخِنَا آمين. الثاني غسل الوجه وحده من منابت شعر الرأس إلى منتهى اللحيين والذقن طولا وعرضا من الأذن إلى الأذن. Okay, so the second integral of wudu is the washing of the face, and the limits, okay, of the face are from the one's lengthwise, from in terms of height, okay, from one's normal hairline, right, to the tip of the chin, okay, and from ear to ear in width. Okay, when we say ear, it's not for our Shafi'i madhab, this is the point. This is the point of the limit of the face. Okay, I think it's called the tragus, right? This soft part of your ear that's connected to your face. It's not the whole ear. Okay, so it's from this one to the other, right, ear to ear, and from the normal hairline, right, to the chin, okay, where the jaw bones meet here. Okay, now first of all, okay, so that's the length, and as I mentioned, from the normal hairline to the tip of the chin. So if someone happens to be balding or having a receding hairline, then the normal natural hairline of that person, right, would be where, what do you call this? Would be where you consider to be the limit of the face. Okay. Okay, or if someone shaved his head off, shave all his hair off completely to become a skinhead, right? Skinheaded, so meaning there's no hair at all, right? So you will approximate where the regular or the normal hairline is, and that will be the limit of the face. Okay, lengthwise from there until the bottom of the chin. Width, as I mentioned, from ear to ear, but it's not the whole ear. Yeah, it's not our whole ear, but this part of the ear here, right, which is called the tragus. Okay, the soft bone here, I think it's a bone. Yeah. Okay, so it goes from this side to this side is the limit widthwise. Okay, across our face. Okay, so when we wash the face, right? Okay. Okay, with regards to the face, it's easy. It's useful to highlight at this point two important principles that will keep coming up again. Okay, in fiqh, in jurisprudence. Right. First is that ma la yatimul wajib illa bihi fahuwa wajib. Okay, whatever wajib action, whatever obligatory action, right, is incomplete, except through another matter, right, as a prerequisite, then that other matter, that prerequisite, is also wajib. Okay, so for example, in the case of the washing of the face, yeah, so it's wajib to go, not just to stop just exactly or precisely where the hairline is, but to go at least 1 or 2 fingers above it. Okay, so go 1 or 2 fingers above the actual hairline. Okay, because then that way we are sure that the wajib has been fulfilled, that the obligation has been fulfilled. Because if we just stop precisely at the hairline, exactly at the hairline, we might have missed a certain, some parts here, right, or some part here. Okay, so the idea is to go slightly beyond, to exceed slightly beyond the limit, right, to ensure that the obligation has been fulfilled. Okay, this is the same. This will come up again on the face, right, with the hands, with the legs. Okay, so it comes up, this principle is applicable, right, and makes demands in repeatedly. Okay, so the principle is that, right, whatever wajib action is incomplete except through another matter, okay, then that other matter, right, the prerequisite or the requirement for the completion of the earlier wajib action, the earlier obligatory action, that other matter also is then wajib, okay, by virtue of the earlier obligation requiring this second matter for its fulfillment. Okay, so that's one principle we should take note of. The second principle, right, is that to exit al-khuruj min al-khilaf mustahab, right, to exit from disagreement, the disagreement between scholars or between madhabs, right, or different positions of different madhabs, to exit out of that realm of from the realm of differences of opinion, right, into the firmest ground of consensus, okay, between the madhabs, right, is recommended, is a sunnah. Okay, so these two principles, right, will come up repeatedly, and it's good to highlight, and just for your general knowledge at this stage, right, so that we are more familiar with the reasons as to why we prescribe going beyond, right, the required limits, okay, for certain washings or for certain actions when with regards the wudu, or more generally also in fiqh, the tahara and the ibadat, right, generally. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, the 1 or 2 fingers extra beyond the limit of the face, or below the chin or the jawline, right, Okay, that is wajib, okay, to ensure that the obligation of the limit is fulfilled completely. Okay, then also when we wash the face, right, that the ears are washed, okay, is also a sunnah, right? So for example, if we're going to take the water, yeah, from the tap, yeah, and we take it and we push it onto our face like that, right? So this part of the face is where we make our intention, right? Nawaitul wudu, right, lillahi ta'ala. So this part is where the water touches our face first, and it goes down and we rub it, you know, all across the face, right? So okay, and it has to go into all the hairs, all the various hairs that are on the face. Okay, it is wajib to wash all the various hairs on the face. Okay, it's also sunnah to wash the ears, right, with the face, because some scholars, this is an example of the second principle, that of exiting the realm of differences of opinion, because some scholars consider the whole ear. As I mentioned earlier, the Shafi'i scholars say this part of the ear, right, that is part of the face, right, it's considered to be part of the face, but some other madhabs consider the whole ear to be part of the face. So in the Shafi'i madhab, right, it is sunnah, right, it's a sunnah for us to, when we are washing the face, to also then go to include the ears in the washing as well. Okay, with the same water that has come down to your face, then you're spreading and rubbing all the water all over your face, right, to also wash the ears. So that's also a sunnah. Okay, and that is because of the idea behind it is to exit from differences of opinion. Okay. Okay, so on the face we have to wash all the hairs on the face. There are 20 hairs, okay, on the face. Okay, it's wajib, an obligation to wash all the hairs internally and externally. Okay, except for the inside of the thick chin and jawline beard. Okay, so when I'm saying chin and jawline beard, basically I mean this whole, that comes down with the jawline and meets at the chin. Okay, if it is thick, we'll get into that in a bit, right? But firstly, I'm going to identify for you. I'm going to list out for you the 20 face hairs, okay, which we have to pay attention to. Okay, the first two, 1 and 2, are the eyebrows. Okay, so if it's a thick eyebrow, then you have to wash inside. You have to make sure that the water gets inside the brow, right, to the skin. Yeah, so that it requires a bit of rubbing. Right. Number 3 and 4, I suppose what we call sideburns. Okay, they aligned the hair that is aligned with the ears, right here, right. Okay, so the hair that's aligned with the ears between the temple and the chin. Okay, so these are 3 and 4. Okay, the sideburns. And then, okay, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are the upper and lower lashes for both eyes. Okay, so 9 and 10, so these are what I was referring to. These are the jawline. This is the jawline beards. Okay. Okay, so they run down, right, after the sideburn. They run down from the ear, right, and going down to the chin, all the way. Hang on a second, maybe I can use a pointer here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so this stretch going down from the ear to the chin, this is the jawline beard. Okay, Similarly, number 9 and number 10. Yeah. Okay, so that's number 9 and 10. Okay. And 11 and 12 are the cheek beards, or cheek hair, the hair that's on the cheek. So this part of the face. Yeah. Okay, number 13 is the mustache. Okay, this middle part, the hair here. Right, because number 14 and 15 are the sides. Okay, so these bits of hair going downwards, or for the nowadays it's the hipsters, in fashion to have the handlebars or whatever they call them, right? Those bits that they like to twist. Okay. Okay, and then number 16 is this, what is a bit more old-fashioned, right? The beard that's under the lower lip. Right, I think it's called a soul patch. Okay, and 17 and 18 are on either side of that. Yeah, so these bits here, right, not just the one under the lip, but the sides of the lip. Okay, 19 is a chin beard, and the 20th facial hair is the hair that's actually on the forehead. Okay, so all of these hairs, right, is obligatory to wash every single one of these hairs, right, internally, externally on the outside, and internally, meaning getting into the skin. Okay, if they're not thick. Okay, so there's an exception is when they are thick. Okay, and this exception is only for the jawline and chin hairs, right? The jawline and chin beards, right? In the picture number 9, 10, and 19. Okay. Okay, so when these are thick, then it's not we're not obliged to wash the inside, right? The internal part of the beard, only the external. Okay. And when we say thick, okay, what does thick mean, right? Okay, thick means when if I'm talking to someone, right, and you're sitting in front of me, so usually it's a sort of standard measurement in figure. Okay, so it means that the skin of my cheek or of my face, where the jawline and chin beard, okay, is where my beard is, the skin on my face cannot be seen from the distance, of two people having a conversation, roughly about 1.5 meters. Okay, so if from 1.5 meters you're looking at my beard and you can see the color of my skin, right, inside the beard. Okay, maybe if it's just a few straggling hairs, or so that you can see the color of my skin, that means that is not considered a thick beard. Okay, and if it's not considered a thick beard, then there is no dispensation, right? There is no exception when the person with such a thin beard takes wudu, then it is wajib also for the water to reach the skin, right, inside the beard. Okay, so even if it's long, right, a few strands of hair, right, it has to go all the way inside. Yeah. Okay, so if it's thick, then it's only wajib to wash the external part of the beard. Okay, the external part of the beard means whatever comes down from the face. Yeah, so whatever continues from the face, right, that part is wajib to just wipe on the outside, okay, with water, and then it's sunnah to run your fingers through the bottom bit like that. Okay, but this part, the bottom part of the beard, that is the part that is facing your chest, right, and the insides of the beard, it is not wajib to wash. Okay, so if the beard is thick. Yeah. And when I'm talking about the beard here, I mean the jawline and chin beard, right? Number 10, 9, 10, and 19. Generally, we just refer to it as a beard, yeah. But because it's precise in terms of the specific hairs on the face, right, with regards the requirements, right, for washing the face, so that's hence 9, 10, and 19. Okay. Okay, we also have to wash other external features of the face. Okay, so if there's a growth, right, there's some some bit of flesh that comes out and hangs off of the side of our face, for example, right, then it's wajib to wash all of that. Okay, so most of the scholars say it's wajib to wash the whole thing, even if it's long and comes out of the limit of our face, right? But Imam Nawawi says it's enough to wash whatever stays within the limit of our face. So whatever goes beyond the limit of the face, it's not wajib to wash that. Yeah. Similarly, it's also wajib to wash any other. When washing our face, it's also wajib to wash the. So these are things that might get missed. When we're washing our face, it's wajib to wash the hole that's just at the tip between the eye and the nose. Right? It's sort of a duct, Okay, there's a duct that enables the tears to go into the nose. Okay, but there's that little hole there, so that has to be washed as well. Right? You don't have to pour water into it, but it has to be washed clean. Right? And if there's any discharge along the eyes or in the corners, okay, that has to be washed as well. It's wajib to wash. Yeah. Okay, so that the water can reach the outsides of the eye. It's also wajib to wash if, for example, hypothetically someone has his nose cut off. Right? So if the nose has been cut off, or part of the nose has been cut off, then whatever is zahir, whatever is manifest, the external part of the nose, is also obligatory to wash, right? But not the internal parts. Okay. Similarly, if someone had the lip or eyelid removed or cut off, right, it's also obligatory to wash what is manifest externally, whatever is apparent on the outside, right, without having to wash the inside. Okay, in fact, with regards the eyes, right, it's not sunnah to wash the insides of the eyes, and some scholars actually say that it is makruh, okay, because it might cause harm. In fact, some of the scholars say Sayyidina Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma became blind in his older age because he used to wash the insides of his eyes, right? Because they were very concerned with having proper wudu, right? So there's some of the scholars say that and cite that as as a reason why it's not sunnah to wash the insides, okay, of the eyes. Okay, similarly, if we have two faces, for example, okay, right, one in front and one at the back. Okay, so it's wajib to wash the face that is in front. Okay, but because that's where this wajah in Arabic is taken from, the facing, right, what you use to face other people. Okay, so the face that is facing other people, right, should be the face that is wajib, right, is obligatory to wash in the event that someone has two faces, right, on the same head, or in the event that one has two different heads. Okay, then it suffices to wash one of the faces on either head. Okay, so in fiqh we will come across sometimes some examples that seem apparently humorous, okay, or excessive sometimes, but if you think about it, then these examples actually serve a very good function, important function in making the point clear. Okay, so they actually demonstrate a principle. Okay, although sometimes they're not you seldom come across these realities, these hypotheticals in real life. Okay, so that explains why hence the question about two faces. Of course, we know that there are people with two. There have been cases of people with two faces and two heads, Siamese twins and that kind of thing, right? So So it's not actually impossible. It's just that sometimes these outlier type scenarios are useful for illustrating the point clearly. Okay. Okay, so that's the face. So inshallah, next week we'll continue with the rest of the integrals of wudu, of ablution. Okay. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Wal afu minkum. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ala niyatil futuh al mullah wa rasul salah al-jasadi wa ruh wa tawbat an-nasuh. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Al-Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
يا ربنا اعترفنا بأننا اقترفنا وأننا أسرفنا على لظى أشرفنا فضلا وجودا منا لا باكتساب منا بالمصطفى الرسول نحظى بكل سول بالمصطفى الرسول نحظى بكل سول بالمصطفى الرسول نحظى بكل سول.